Somebody did that. They took a whole bunch of slide sections and made a water slide and down to the lake. It's pretty wild. All right.
I don't know if Commissioner Evans is coming or not. I have my doubts. So Chair Peterson,
Let me know when you're ready.
you're in charge.
I'm in charge. Well, that's scary. You guys ready down there?
I was born ready, Joe.
Love it. Good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to the Hermantown Economic Development Authority meeting for Thursday, July 16th, 2026. It's currently 5:33 in the evening. Can we do a roll call of members, please?
Commissioner Pion.
Here.
Commissioner LaValle.
Here.
Commissioner Jelly.
Here.
Commissioner Peterson.
Here.
Commissioner Geisler and President Boucher are absent.
Thank you for that. Second,
Commissioner Johnson is also.
Yeah.
thank you for that. Second up, we have the minutes. Can we get a motion on the minutes from the May 21st, 2026 HEDA minutes?
Move to approve.
Thank you for that. Can we get a second?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the motion passes. Number 3, motions. 3.1, motion to establish the amount of bond at $300,000 required to be provided by the treasurer. Chad, what do you have for us on this one?
Every year at the annual meeting, of which this is, the commission has to establish a bond. The bond has to be at least twice the amount of money likely to be on hand at any one time. Given the fact that we are just at about $600,000 in the fund balance, the recommended bond would be set at $300,000, as it has been for many years.
Thank you for that. Commission members, any questions or comments so far on 3.1?
4.1. Isn't it?
No, it's 3.1.
Oh, section 4.2.
It's all good. I'm looking for a motion on 3.1 then.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. 3.2 this evening is a motion to approve the annual report to the city. Chad, what do you have for us on this one?
Thank you, Chair Peterson. I'm going to share screen and quickly kind of go through the annual report. Every year, HEDA has to submit per the rules a report on what they did to the city council. And so this report that's in the agenda is to satisfy that requirement of the report. So as usual, we start with the charge and the mission of what HEDA is and what it is intended to do, along with the HEDA commissioners that serve throughout the year. And again, this is a report for 2025, so it always comes at the annual meeting, which is held in July. The annual summary is the first page, and through the following. Obviously the big defining feature of the year was the modernization of HEDA's governing documents. If you recall, we recommended to City Council, and City Council thereby adopted an amended and restated enabling resolution that changed the dynamic of this commission and also updated the bylaws accordingly. So that comes in a later report, but that was probably the most defining moment of 2025. There was a lot of discussion that went into that, a pretty big decision, a lot of research on aligning with best practices of a community our size. Beyond that, Hopline Business Park, formerly the Highway 53 Business Park, is kind of a crowning achievement, I think, from my opinion, from how HEDA can really lead and get things done. HEDA really took the reins on this. They authorized an AUAR to study that ahead of having any interest in the site whatsoever. We did a public-private partnership with the landowner, and we did that environmental review, really set the stage for a grant application, which we did to the Department of Employment and Economic Development. We received $2 million in infrastructure funding, and because of those two things, both having the site environmentally ready and having funding from the state to help with the infrastructure, we were able, actually the private landowner was able to attract an outside development firm to come in and do a design build for FedEx. And that's a really big deal. And he played a really big role in that, having funded the AER and had the staff commit their time to that. So through that, we were able to achieve a 230,000 plus square foot distribution facility, which is, they're now turning dirt, and it's going to be a big facility, a lot of tax base growth on that. 450 new jobs on site, which is tremendous, far more than I think we even anticipated when we first started talking scale. And then because of our partnership, and because it was FedEx, there was some changes of how the site, the access to the site needed to happen, and so partnership with St. Louis County got a combined total infrastructure cost of more than $7 million for utility extensions and road improvements. Also going to create some safety upgrades for the Lynn bypass and Ugstead intersection. So, and I think the frosting, the really key and important part to this is this was a Superfund site. These are really challenging, technically difficult, and expensive sites to redevelop, and they can take decades and decades, and this one did. Because of HEDA's leadership, we were able to turn it around. It's going to be back on the tax rolls in probably next year. So my hat off to all of the HEDA commissioners who played a role in this and helped fund it. So again, a clear example of how proactively assuming the responsibility of intentionally leading economic growth for the community. So well done. 2025 was actually kind of a big year. We did a lot of stuff. We also did the Housing Trust Fund policy and did a loan from that Housing Trust Fund. We did a lot of work as a group talking about what the policy should look like, what the lending rates should look like, who should get priority lending, those types of things. It's always fun to sit in a room like this and talk to the commissioners about what they want to see and what they want to prioritize. As a staff member, that's a highlight. So thank you for your engagement and your thoughtful approach to that. We also made a loan to Reliable Properties. That project is almost wrapped up. You drive by, it's really short. The tenants are in, and thankfully the tenants that live there, the residents, which the Housing Trust Fund is used for, now have a much safer housing than they used to. They have fire rating, they have appropriate structural support for the floors. So that project would not have been viable if it weren't for this commission. So thank you for that. Birch Hills, we made a lot of progress, but then we kind of stalled out trying to figure out where we wanted to go and what we wanted to do. The last direction we had as staff was to evaluate possible alternative P3s or public-private partnerships and consider land conveyance arrangements through that. So we haven't had staff capacity to engage in that yet. We've got a few other things going on, and I know that this is of interest to the commission, so it will be top of the pile once we get through a few things here this year. So, but we did a lot of design and put a lot of thought into the site, did some assemblage with the help of the city council, who really led the acquisitions. But it's a really good site, and development can really happen in a thoughtful way. By design, when you have site control and you partner with a private developer. So looking forward to working on that again. Uptown, again, another major visionary type project. We hired David Farber to come on and work with the advisory group to do that, the advisory committee. We got pretty far in it. We got to initial concepts. We have site layouts. We had an initial massing study. So we got pretty far in it, but we did not complete it because we wanted that plan to really be a plan focused on community input. We had to be the community's plan and try to get a significant chunk of the community to buy into it. We felt, given some of the other issues facing the community, it just wasn't the right time for that. So the advisory committee recommended that we pause and we wait until we can have kind of a singular focus on the engagement piece with the community. So that's on the shelf, but we do continue to at least talk about it at a surface level as staff, and do touch base with the design firm from time to time too. So more to come on that one. Hopefully we can pick that back up next year. Again, the governance changes, I'll cover more of that in the enabling resolution report later on. Then there's a list of resolutions. You can see by the multiple pages that it was a pretty busy year. I won't go through all of them, but there were some significant decisions and some changes made throughout the course of the year. In terms of the budget, we are about $100,000 less than we started last year. That was largely the out-of-town expenditures. We cruised through about half that contract in the 6 months we were on it. So we didn't spend it. We've got about another $100,000, $130,000 left on that contract. But that's the reason for the reduced fund balance in 2025 versus 2024. So, Chair Peterson, that is the report. Happy to discuss or answer any questions.
Thank you very much for that. Commission members, any questions or comments so far on 3.2 this evening?
It's the first time I've seen FedEx on anything, so that's
That's the first time.
just out of curiosity, is that 450 new jobs, or are those jobs transferring up from Superior?
Chair Peterson, Commissioner LaLaw, yeah, it's, I don't know the answer to that. I know that there are 450 new jobs to our community, and I believe there are new jobs to the state of Minnesota, which when on an economic development, spectrum, that's kind of the way it works, the way we chop things up. So.
Speak of it.
Speak of the truck and drives. But to the FedEx piece, they were actually on the submitted materials for. We were never really told who it was, just that it was a distribution facility or distribution company in a Fortune 50. And that's pretty common practice. The developer led the design build. But we found out when they submitted the designs for the special use, or the CIP. It was a good win. I had hunches because UPS has already got their facility down on Garfield, so I had a hunch, but it's a really good use of that site, so I'm really excited and very well placed.
I forget the term, how has the housing grant worked so far? Have we had any issues with payment? How often are they paying? Just anything about it?
Chair Peterson, Commissioner, it's working great. They have done all their draws now. They actually started making payments before they finished the draw requests, which was the way the contract was structured. But they're making payments. They make them quarterly, I believe. They've been right on time. It's been no trouble. We've got automatic transfer set up. Everything's been approved, so now it's just a matter of collecting payments and putting it back into the fund.
Everything, all the work's completed, and we got people living in those apartments now?
As far as I understand.
Awesome. Any other questions or comments so far on 3.2?
Oh, just thanks, Jeff, for all your work. It's interesting seeing it all together. We were busy last year.
There are other things happening in the city?
Yeah. And these are incredible things. I mean, compared to what we were doing 10 years ago, I mean, this is a lot. So, thank you.
Thank you.
This is a very minor question. On the resolutions page, May 21st is highlighted on the last one. Just to
Chair Peterson, Commissioner Pianka, I did the formatting and I couldn't get that one to change. So I don't know, I deleted it, I edited it, I added it back in, but it just kept popping back to highlight it, and I'm not sure why I was doing it, but I then had to get it submitted, so at the end I was like, how much staff time do I really want to spend on not having it highlighted, so.
I didn't know if it meant something.
It does not. Just a formatting thing within the document I couldn't get to cooperate.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you very much. Look for a motion on 3.2.
Move to approve.
Thank you for that. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that motion passes. Moving on to 3.3, it's a motion to approve for submission to the City Council a budget for 2027. Chad, what do you have for us on this one?
Thank you, Chair Peterson. Again, this is the budget for 2027. I included the budget book for 2026 simply because obviously the budget book for 27 isn't out yet, but it does give a snapshot of trends. The one thing I'll flag is that this has not been updated on the structure, but this is a document that comes from the city, and I think they don't release the budget book until the final version of the budget book until a later date. So I highlighted it for the commission's reference that the structure has been changed. Beyond that, I'll just jump right to the proposed budget for next year. Because there is a little bit of an offset between revenues and expected budgeted revenues and expected expenditures over the last few years, I decided just to kind of cut back a little bit, not in any meaningful way, but cutting down on the travel expenses was the main method to do that. I don't really need to have that much time, so figure we'll just welcome there. So I sliced a couple $1,000 off the budget simply to align it. Nothing out of the ordinary expected last year or next year. We kept largely the same categories. There were some adjustments between 25 and 26 on how we would what buckets we have money in, but it's going to stay relatively the same in 27. The other thing I wanted to talk about today a little bit was just where we're at with the budget for 2026. We're well under budget as the year progresses. We had, most of the work that we've been doing hasn't been for HEDA expenditures. We've had some consulting fees on Hotline. We had some consulting fees on some housing initiatives, but we haven't really had much for uptown spending as that ceased up late last year. So we're going to be well under budget, I expect, this year, going into next year, which is nice because we can pocket back some of that money that we overspent last year. So just wanted to give you an update where we were tracking on this year's budget as well. So, but I'll go back to next year's budget because that's really what this is about, and then I'll wait and see if there are any questions.
Does anybody have any questions?
I'm glad to see the number go down.
Only down from 25.
Now, here we'll look for a motion on 3.3, please.
Motion to approve.
Thank you for that. Can we get a second?
Second.
Thank you for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. Wait, would you just take over for 3.4?
Yeah. 3.4, motion to approve a report to the city council on the enabling resolution.
Mayor, can you make sure your mic is on?
Now it's on.
Thank you, sir.
3.4, motion to approve a report to the city council on the enabling resolution. Explain that.
Sure, President Boucher. Every year we have to do a report to City Council per the bylaws on the enabling resolution. So this report is actually rather robust in that we made some substantial changes to the way that the enabling resolution was structured last year. So this is going to satisfy the requirement of the report to the council. And I will be happy to go through the report now or after the motion.
Let's start with the motion. Do we have a motion for the enabling resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Jelly, second.
I'll second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Pion. Now we can have a report.
Thank you, President Boucher. Again, major structural changes to how HEDA is comprised in last year. In August, City Council adopted the amended and restated enabling resolution that HEDA recommended to the council. If you recall, we sat through multiple meetings and talked about our population growth. We talked about having diversified industry representation on the commission. We talked about how how other cities have moved to a less council presence and a more community-based presence, at-large presence on our commission. And we had good genuine discussion about that. In the end, it was recommended by this body to council and adopted. So now we sit at, once terms end and folks are no longer on the council or must be reelected, they then turn off. New folks will be appointed, and through that, all of the commissioners still must be recommended by the mayor and accepted by council. But there will be a structural change where only two will be council. One of them can be the mayor, but two council member representatives. It'll be interesting to have some differing industry representatives on the commission from there. We also updated the bylaws to make some changes on when annual meeting would be. Those changes were pretty simple, largely revolving around the fact that my job was created, and that the mayor didn't necessarily have to be the president automatically of the commission if the mayor were not on the commission appointed as one of the council representatives. So I now serve as the executive director, given the fact that the commission recommended the economic development director serve in that role. So, and then we also updated the meeting time to 5:30 because folks found it a little bit easier to get here by 5:30 rather than 5. And also, it's a little more accommodating in the public, really, because a lot of people work, the hours of 8 to 5 type, and it gives them some time to get here too if there's something on the agenda without having to take time off to be here. So that's the summary of the enabling resolution, along with some bylaw touches that would be recommended to council. Reported to council.
Did we also remove a waiting period between the last time council or HEDA and you can be on HEDA again?
President Boucher, Commissioner LeBlanc, that's correct. We used to have that a person could not be reappointed to the commission for 2 years at least after they've turned off. But now that reappointment restriction was removed. There was no call in state statute to do that. I'm not really sure how that was brought to be, but it's really just regional and state practice anyway to allow people to come back if the mayor wanted to recommend their appointment. The other thing was we didn't have any restrictions on who could serve. So you could serve on park board, you could serve on utility commission, but we put in some restrictions so that you couldn't serve on this board if you were serving on all the others. Those are two items. Seem a little bit yet important.
I happen to know someone that may be interested in jumping back in.
Any questions? We have a motion and a second. Should we do a roll call?
Certainly. Commissioner Pion.
Aye.
Commissioner LeBlanc.
Aye.
Commissioner Diallo.
Aye.
Commissioner Peterson.
Aye.
President Boucher.
Aye. Next, 3.5, motion to approve an audit to submit to the city council. Do we have a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by LeBlanc, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Peterson, Mr. Gonchetti.
President Boucher, Commissioners, there isn't an attachment to the audit because it's significantly large, but it is right on the city's website, so anyone can simply search the town's audit and it'll pop right up, or go and navigate to the page directly and find it. Of course, we have printed copies available if needed, but this is a little bit of a wonky one where it's required by the rules that HEDA submit the audit to the city council for approval or for their consideration. They don't have to approve it, but the HEDA's audit is a part of the city's audit, as we're currently a component of the city, so we're really just sending their own audit to city council. So part of it. Well, and we're really embedded in the rest of it, but this is really just checking a box as a part of the rules. But the audit is complete and it's executed, so and available for review for the public.
Show any concerns?
President Boucher, I didn't see any finance didn't see any. I did review the HEDA portions of it, and no, there were no concerns for in the audit.
Any questions from commissioners? Have a roll call.
Do we have a motion?
We have a motion and a second. Motion by Lot, second by Peterson.
I'm so excited to talk about the motion of the audit that I missed.
I can understand that.
Commissioner Pionk,
Aye.
Commissioner LeBlanc,
Aye.
Commissioner Jelly,
Aye.
Commissioner Peterson,
Aye.
President Boucher.
Aye. And it looks like we're out of business. Is there a motion to recess?
Move to recess.
Motion by Commissioner LeBlanc, is there a second?
A second.
Second by Commissioner Pion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.